Welcome to the press conference for Stefanos Tsitsipas. Please raise your hand, state your organisation and name when asking a question. Stefanos, just give us your thoughts on that match.
I enjoyed my tennis today. I enjoyed the atmosphere out there. I enjoyed the way I fought and the way I tried to find solutions and be in control of the match. A bit disappointed with some of the things that went down. Especially when they're repetitive over and over again, it starts to really get it starts to get really difficult to ignore in a way. Yeah, it felt kind of a circus in a way.
Matt Butterman with the New York Times. Do you think Nick goes over the line with his behavior on the court?
I like what his tennis has to bring to our sport. Like, he's very different, and that's not a bad thing. But I don't think there's been a single match that I played with him that, he was behaving that way. And there comes a point where you really get tired of it, let's say. The constant talking, the constant complaining. I mean, I'm about to serve and there's a big gap there that there's no tennis being played, which is the most important thing in the court. We're there to play tennis. We're not there to have conversations and dialogues with other people, especially when you really know that the referee is not going to overrule what he decided. It's really silly in a way. The referee has made a decision, and I don't know. It's just like, how are you gonna even change his mind? It doesn't work this way. You're there to play tennis. I've had a lot of experience with umpires. Yeah, it's just like frustrating to see that people just get away with that. It's frustrating.
Nick Callow here. He said after the match that he loved you and showed some respect for you, but he also during the match said that you should be defaulted for hitting a ball. What did you make of that specific complaint?
Look, I have to say it was really bad from my side. I've never done that before, throwing the ball outside the court in that way. I did apologize to the people. I don't know what went through my head that time. I think also his part, with all the all the circus show going on the other side of the net, it started to become very tiring in a way. Just like. And that happened. I mean, I didn't hit any people. It did hit the wall, thank God. And for sure, I'm never doing that again. But it's my responsibility for sure. But there was also something that created that behavior that I'm not used to see myself.
Jacqueline Magnay from the Australian newspaper. For years we've heard these complaints from other players, not just yourself, about playing Nick. Do you think there comes a point when the players themselves, that you in the locker room, have to make a stand about this behaviour? Because it's clear that officials are not really doing anything.
I wish we could all come together and put a rule in place. I don't know, something about talking. Because why would you be talking while you're playing? It makes no sense. You're out there to do your job. Tennis is the most important thing that we're doing out there. And every single point that I played today, I feel like there was something going on the other side of the net. And I'm not trying to be distracted by that, because I know it might be intentional. Because for sure he can play other way. And that's his way of manipulating the opponent and making him feel distracted in a way. There's no other player that does that. There's no other player that is so upset and frustrated all the time with something. It triggers it so easy and so fast. And I really hope all us players can come up with something and make this a cleaner version of our sport. Have this kind of behavior be not allowed, not accepted, not tolerated, and move on better.
I don't know if you were Graphic Magazine stuff. I'm just curious about the point penalty you got, which was a return that you hit into the back wall. Like, how intentional was that from you? Was it just you trying to hit the return, or was it, what did you think of that call? Because you didn't seem to notice it until they announced the score the next game.
I was aiming for the body of my opponent, but I missed by a lot. By a lot. Like, it was...
Why were, okay, guys, like, you tried to hit him several times. Why?
Just to stop. You know? This needs to stop. It's not okay. Like, someone needs to sit down with him and talk, like, or... I don't know what to say. There's frustration behind that for sure, and I'm not used to play this way, but I cannot just sit there, act like a robot and act like someone that is completely cold and ignorant. And you know, it has happened up 3-4 times now. Okay, one time I understand, you know, but like if it starts happening 2-3-4 times, it really gets to your nerves, because you're out there doing your job and you have noise coming from the other side of the court for no absolute reason.
Did you think at the end of the match that maybe you wouldn't have liked to shake hands? I saw you did it, but there was something that went through your mind that he shouldn't deserve me to shake hands with him. And also once I saw that when you miss-hit a backhand, he shouted, "Good shot!" I mean, do you remember that? What was your reaction?
Yeah, it's constant bullying. That's what he does. He bullies his opponents. He was probably a bully at school himself. You don't know what's behind. I don't like bullies. I don't like people that put other people down. He has some good traits in his character as well, but when he also has a very evil side to him, which if it's exposed, it can really do a lot of harm and bad to the people around him. Myself, when I feel like other people disrespect me and don't respect what I'm doing from the other side of the court, it's absolutely normal from my side to act and do something about it. The handshake part, you know, well deserved, well done for the great match, for sure. I need to congratulate my opponent. It's a thing that I've been doing my entire life. I've never finished the match and not given my hand to the opponent, simply because of his performance. But attitude-wise, if there was a handshake for that, I would definitely be walking away from it, and that's how it is. It's not correct and it's not acceptable in any way.
Can I
Do you know
just
what?
ask
Sorry,
on?
no, sorry, we need to take other questions about it. James?
Stefanos, you sound quite chesty and sort of coldy. Are you ill? Do you think that contributed to your performance there at all? Have you tested for COVID, for example?
I have tested for COVID. It's just a cold. Yeah, it started when I came from Mallorca to here, and yeah, I mean it's still pretty bad. But I really wanted to play Wimbledon, and for me, this tournament means a lot.
Okay, we'll take last English shot at the back there.
Hi, Stefanos, Catamatica Tennis Podcast. I just wondered, take away the circus tonight, all of that, just about the tennis, what do you think the result would have been?
I really don't know. It's difficult to say because you haven't seen it yourself. But I don't think he can play without having a circus around. It's just the way he likes things being done, like on his own terms, his own way, and he just always gets away with it. And I spoke to the umpire briefly, telling him that, you know, it's really crossing the line in many ways. I do understand he got a code violation for something he did. I remember two of the line umpires walking up to the referee and telling him something. So it happened twice, and something might have happened twice, but it just feels very messy. It just feels like disorganized in a way. I guess without it, I mean, for sure a much better, more quality match, also from his side, I suppose, unless he doesn't think he can play this way. But I think it makes for better tennis playing the way it should be played, the normal way, like we do with every single other opponent that is out on the tour.
Λίγο πιο ευθέως. Θεωρείς ότι η αιτία της ήττας ήταν αυτό που έγινε, όλα αυτά που έγιναν?
Δεν το έλεγα, αλλά σίγουρα είναι... σε βγάζει εκτός ρυθμού. Είναι ένα μπουλούκι, πώς να το πω, είναι ένα ό,τι να είναι στο γήπεδο. Δεν νιώθεις ότι υπάρχει οργάνωση, δεν νιώθεις ότι υπάρχει τάξη, κάτι το οποίο το άθλημά μας λειτουργεί έτσι όταν παίζουμε. Υπάρχει τάξη, υπάρχει σεβασμός από όλο τον κόσμο και από τους δύο αθλητές οι οποίοι αγωνίζονται μες στο γήπεδο. Σήμερα νιώθω ότι δεν υπήρχε καθόλου σεβασμός και φυσικά και άλλες φορές έχει υπάρξει έτσι, αλλά δεν μπορεί να συνεχιστεί αυτό, πρέπει να γίνει κάτι. Και δεν είμαι ο μοναδικός παίχτης που το λέει αυτό. Τέτοια συμπεριφορά δεν ανήκει στο τένις σίγουρα.
Θεωρείς ότι επειδή δεν σε έχουμε συνηθίσει σε τέτοιες συμπεριφορές, πιστεύεις ότι σε έδειξε τη συμπεριφορά σου στο δικό του επίπεδο?
Ναι, σίγουρα, ναι, απολύτως. Πρώτα απ' όλα δεν θα έδειχνα αυτό που έδειξα μέσα στο γήπεδο σήμερα άμα δεν ξεκίναγε όλο αυτό. Φυσικά δεν θέλω να παίζω με τους δικούς του όρους, θέλω να παίζω με τους δικούς μου όρους μέσα στο γήπεδο, αλλά υπάρχει και ένα όριο κάποια στιγμή που άμα το ξεπεράσεις αρχίζει και γίνεται κουραστικό. Υπήρχαν στιγμές που σκεφτόμουν τι κάνω μέσα στο γήπεδο, δεν με σέβεται καθόλου, δεν σέβεται το παιχνίδι, δεν σέβεται τους διαιτητές, τον κόσμο, οι οποίοι ήρθαν να δουν τένις. Όπως λέμε η ελληνική ορολογία του Κάγκουρα. Και στην κυριολεξία.
Τα άκουγες αυτά που έλεγε? Αυτά τα good return, τα ειρωνικά που σου έλεγε, τα άκουγες?
Τα άκουγα, ναι.
Σε επηρέαζαν?
Όχι.
Πάντως στο πρώτο σετ ήσουν πιο συγκροτημένος, δηλαδή παρόλο που είχε ξεκινήσει από το πρώτο σετ και τα έκανε αυτά, στο tie break ήσουν πάρα πολύ συγκροτημένος. Μετά ήταν ότι είχες φτάσει στα όρια σου, γι' αυτό άλλαξε η συμπεριφορά σου?
Είχα μια ευκαιρία, πιστεύω, στο 4 όλα στο break point, που ένιωθα ότι αυτή είναι η στιγμή μου και έβγαλα ένα από τα καλύτερα σερβίς του αγώνα, με δεύτερο σερβίς άσο πάνω στη γραμμή. Και πραγματικά εκεί ένιωθα ότι ήταν μεγάλη μου ευκαιρία να πάω 5-4 πάνω, να το κλείσω με 2-0 σετ και νομίζω εκεί η ψυχολογία θα έχει αλλάξει τελείως. Δεν νομίζω έχει γυρίσει ποτέ από 2-0 σετ κάτω ο Νίκ. Και για μένα δεν είναι από τους παίχτες οι οποίοι θα δώσουν την ψυχή τους μέσα στο γήπεδο, κυρίως όταν είναι σε τέτοιο κατήφορο. Για παράδειγμα, κάποιος όπως ο Ναδάλ, μάλλον δεν το έλεγα αυτό, αλλά σε αυτή την περίπτωση θα μου δίνει ένα μεγάλο πλεονέκτημα να συνεχίσω αυτό το έργο με τάξη και έτσι όπως έκανα τη δουλειά μου.
Η σχέση σας γενικά πώς είναι?
Σίγουρα μετά από αυτό δεν θα υπάρχει καμιά σχέση.
Πριν πώς ήταν?
Κάπως οκ. Ναι, δεν βγαίναμε και έξω, αλλά για λέγαμε σίγουρα και είχα και εγώ καλές προθέσεις, εννοώ καλές φιλικές σχέσεις, αλλά ναι, δεν νομίζω είναι ωραίο αυτό που κάνει.
Εντάξει, Στέφανο, ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Thank you very much.